And then if you record to cloud, then I'll download it and upload it.
Cool. It's recording now.
Cool. So Alex, if you wanted to go over the screens that you put together, that might be a fun way to start off. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. It's going to be very quick. I just wanted to share like a layout idea. Can you enable me, Sam, to share?
Oh, yeah. You should be able to now.
Okay. Where's my big mom? Okay. So this is how I would imagine it. This is, I don't know how to make it nice and big, but yeah. So that would be the screen that would show booking options, and the squares will be pictures of the rooms organized like this as tiles. And next to it, we'll have a calendar, and you could sort those rooms for what is available, or you can look at all the rooms. Or if you're gonna press on the calendar, then the rooms are gonna change according to what's available for those particular dates. And then if you click on a room to see more details, then that space of the tiles basically is going to be taken over by the information of the room, and could contain photo, maybe a floor plan, maybe the photo will be like a little slider that you can click through and see other pictures and whatever other information we want to put in there. And then you can, the calendar is still here, so you can pick the dates and book, and I will take you further. So that's it, just these two things. I just kind of like the idea of sort of concentrated UI where you're not taken to multiple pages, but instead the components are being swept with other components, and everything is just sort of stays in one place and more condensed. So that's what I wanted to share. And maybe
I think I basically have APIs for this already.
That's cool.
I have an API that returns your availability for, you can just select dates and it gives you the availability and then for the date range. So I think we can build this already.
Cool. For our, I don't know if we're meeting on Tuesday, but I could try to style it a bit and see what I can come up with by then, like for a theme for this.
Yeah, I guess we should think how this fit in the context of a village a little bit.
Right.
Is there anything specific
to the village
that you can think?
What could we add to this? What would be there if it was a village?
Well, I don't know if there's more things that you can put rather than rooms, like yeah. I don't know what kind of like utility spaces, materials, like a shared library of materials, or I don't know if they work on the same. I guess it's.
Yeah, it's true. Like, for example, in our case, I guess you would have rooms, studios, a house, which is all like accommodation, but then you also have co-working. You have the ateliers, whether you want to do woodwork, metalwork, whatever. And we want to have all of that in the calendar so that you can really optimize the use of those spaces.
So, for example, for that, you book it by hour. Like, imagine like you want to use a ceramic atelier or like a wood workshop, and you want to kind of reserve that space, then it's by hour. It's not by day.
So that's like meeting rooms in a way.
Yeah, a little bit like meeting rooms in co-working.
So I have like whatever living spaces, co-working spaces, right? And then what else you said? Utilities. What that would mean, like tools?
Yeah. Tools. No, that's separate, like a material of tools. It can be like a library of tools.
Uh-huh.
That
But-
can be useful in a village. A lot of people thinking to have that like common, yeah, like including tools, but also maybe like a professional
yeah.
camera.
I think
Uh-huh.
I
Okay.
think we keep the material library for later. Only focus on physical spaces.
Okay.
No, like
Yeah,
both work and living.
because the
So
material
that's
is similar.
uh-huh.
It's also by hour. I think the idea is kind of the same, like a meeting room. No, you book it for 2 hours or something.
It's possible.
So now focus on still living spaces and like co-working spaces.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do we think about, if this is for booking, about adding, and if there's a calendar here, about adding events or anything else that might be part of the village that people might book for?
Oh.
It is a little bit
Yeah.
of a crossover, but I think that's also a bit interesting. If someone's coming here to like book a room or book a, they're going to book 2 hours at the studio here to do a recording, and simultaneously they see there's an event happening the next day or even that day. They're like, oh, that's cool. I'm going to go to that event. So it's like, how do we weave all the information that you might want to book all into one, experience?
Cool.
I think you
How
should
does
be
that
able from like both places in a way that if you're more interested to come and stay, I think you should be able to see everything that is happening as add-ons. And if you are just joining for an event, you should also have the option to book a room somehow. I don't know if it can be in the same space,
Yeah.
if everything can be in the same space, or you should always have the ability to add on to whatever interests you more.
I guess in the calendar, it's nice to see like an overview.
Yeah.
What we had in mind was to have the calendar with bookings, for example, for admins as well. So you can see who is present in what room at that time. But I think for normal people, you shouldn't have that level of granularity because that's a bit privacy invading. But I think you should be able to see like just when you book, maybe like who are the 10 people who are gonna be staying at the same time as you or something like that.
Uh-huh. So for example, how would that be? So the calendar basically should reflect some information as well. Other information than just available dates. So where would that go? Right after the person books, then the calendar changes and you can see what's going on, or when you're looking for booking, the calendar also displays some information and you click and you can expand and see that information in detail, something like that.
I kind of like the Airbnb experience. Can I share my screen?
Yeah. I'm gonna stop.
Oh. Switch. So I mean, this is what I had built already. Oh wait, let me run it locally maybe. Oh no, a bit online now. I like the Airbnb experience where you start from what information is most important.
For you.
You. So I think starting with the dates. So maybe it's like a two-step thing. So on Airbnb, I mean, this is kind of the Airbnb experience, right? You start with, okay, when do I come? Like maybe you put your dates, and then maybe right then, like as soon as you click those two dates, maybe then it populates the calendar with, okay, this is all the events that are happening for those periods. This is the rooms that are available. And yeah. Does that make sense? Like here?
Yeah.
I guess we said, yeah, location. So, well, location, I guess we can skip, and then because I think for now we're doing the flow only once you know what village you want to come in. So we are going from the start point of the village, and then I guess you would have this. So you select the start date, and then the end date, and guess, and then you search, and then
you didn't put location.
Location. I have to put something.
Bella. Nearby.
So they have the map.
Yeah. Okay, that's a thing.
Yeah, so for us again,
if we're following this, we could swap the map out for a map of the village, kind of showing the layout.
Yeah.
If we want to just follow this, but anyway. And then each one of the rooms, you can see where in the village the room's located.
But like they also have like experiences, and it's something that I think they start recommending after you booked, or how does it go?
Yeah, but that's for stuff nearby. I would
Yeah.
say since it's where you live, I would say maybe the calendar is more important for us because we already know the location since you already within the context of a village. So things like Reiki said, showing what events are happening, what things are available, whatever.
Okay. So maybe you see all the rooms in the tiles, maybe like Sasha said, not a list or something. And then on the other side, maybe you see the events as a list even.
Yeah, so kind of like we
Like
have
here.
on here already. You would have
thinking too.
Sorry?
That's what I was imagining to the calendar where this would be marked. But I was also imagining that you can click and then it will expand a bit and you can see what the event is about or something.
Yeah. So right now, if you click, it just takes you to the event page, but
okay.
Which I guess can be MVP.
This is totally random and an aside, but it's something I've always wanted. And we're talking about events, right? So if it's in the same journey flow and people are booking to go there, we could also invite them if they want to give an event. There's a lot of creatives that have wisdom to share. So we could say, hey, Wednesday is available. Do you feel like sharing anything that you're passionate about? And then they can book and, give a little workshop or something. Just encourage people to kind of share their gifts as they show up to the villages,
I like that actually. I mean, what you've shown so far, it's this classic, room booking, event booking, right? There are 1,000 solutions for this out there. I think you can take that a bit further here into sort of the idea of building a village, right? So this whole concept of the village is there, but it's not complete. We're looking for others to participate. We're looking for other spaces, creative spaces and living spaces, whatever kind of spaces that are sort of, it's like a map that you're actually building, not something that just shows the assets you have for the village that you can then book, right? But more like inviting participants to say, hey, there are two spaces we really need anybody available inside that village who's willing to open up a space, right? And become part of the network and offer then, offer their services within that wider, grid that you're building here. I think that to me would be an opportunity. That's something new, where it becomes a lot more participative rather than just opening up another booking site, right? I mean, for this functionality, you could just go to Airbnb and then implement it in 10 minutes, you're done, right? But I think you want to distinguish this a bit to say, well, we're actually into something much bigger here, into creating, building, maintaining these villages, right? Just some thoughts here, random thoughts.
Yes. Yeah.
So should it be connected somehow? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I'll stop.
So should it be connected somehow with the tasks and proposals that are also dated for that time? So for example, there is a task or something that needs to be done. And then it kind of pops up also. Like, oh, there's a need.
Exactly. So on that calendar, I guess we could show events, tasks or proposals that are ongoing. So for example, if we need like a carpenter next week and you book a room, then you can say, oh, you can reduce your rent by 50% if you pick up this carpenter task that needs to be done while during your stay.
Exactly.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, yes, exactly. Or show up between 1 and 3 to the garden and, you get $50 for helping out at the garden day or whatever.
Yeah.
Should we show this? So the calendar, should it reflect this information since the beginning when the person lands there? Because, for example, the dates are flexible, but the person wants to is interested in all these things, and what if it's going to affect their decision-making process as to when to come and even where they're going to stay, because for example that week, I don't know, these carpeting skills are needed and they can come and stay, and that's what I'm curious to. Like all
Yeah,
of that is
I guess all of the
Well, I
things that
like
you
the flow that Sam had.
Which
oh, go ahead.
your flow, Oaisa?
I was just, yeah, I was saying I like the flow where you show up and you put in your dates first and then it shows you the calendar. But then as the calendar pops up, I say we show like the whole, couple weeks on each side, and they might extend their stay or shift it around to actually get an idea of what's going on. So that you don't overwhelm them with the whole calendar at first. You let them pick their dates and then it slowly steps them into the journey,
Uh-huh. Yeah, I kind of like, like the Airbnb experience. I think it's very, well, because, so I think they can come in from multiple points. I think if they just like, when you click book, when you click this booking button from the side, I think it means that, yeah, like, your dates kind of, and you're ready to just get a room, and that's what you're looking to do. So I think here we should start with a calendar, with this flow kind of thing, like how do you check in, check out. But if you don't really know, like if you're just curious about the village, you might just go to the public event page and you'll see, oh, like rebuild is happening that week. That sounds really cool. And then check in. And maybe from the event page directly, you can see, like book a room. And so if you book from here, you already have the dates, and you can still edit it, but this is just like an entry point, for example. Or maybe you would start from the tasks and you see, oh, like we need like a React developer during this week, or we need a camper, and then you click into it. And then directly from here, you would have a link to book, but it would become associated with a predefined time frame, for example.
So that would be interesting to have the tasks also showing as calendar.
Yeah, I mean, if they require a calendar. I think for us, like most tasks don't have a calendar, but it could be an idea.
I think when people don't know that this is an opportunity, they don't think that way. So I just was thinking that you can show them that it's possible at all to think in that way, because most of the time, yes, people have the dates and they go, but they don't make that connection that they could be doing something during their stay. And to incentivize that kind of thinking, you make a mention of that. That's why I was offering.
Yeah. So I think we should do both ways, no? Like first, you have from the discovery standpoint, you can either discover that you want to stay because of an event or because there's a task that you can do. Or is there anything else? Like, is that the two main entry points, or do we have something else?
I think if you design it more as almost like an onboarding process rather than a quick booking thing, right, in and out. So you look more at sort of what do you want to do longer term, or if you want to stay longer here, or if you want to come back to the village. I think then you can tie that to sort of get to know the village, right? Maybe there are some places you want to check out. Maybe there's some people you want to meet. Maybe there are some classes that are available somewhere that explain you some of things that are going on in the village there, right? That you want to, but otherwise you wouldn't find easily, right? But almost like like onboarding to an organization, onboarding to a village here, really. That's what it is, right? So it's not this quick check in, check out. Wow, great! I'm a tourist. I'm checking out. I'm having a good time, and then I'm leaving. But staying, right? That's the idea.
So just to clarify, because I mean, for our process, actually, in order to get to the booking page, you have to already be onboarded. So in our case, this is like the second step. So first, you do like a member application, then the members review you, you get your welcome email, and then you can book your 2-week trial. So this is why, like for us, it's like the last step after the onboarding, which is a booking. But it might be possible that for us villages, they will allow just random people to book, for example, or stuff like that.
Right. But what I mean here is really sort of the physical onboarding. Once you're actually there in the village, then what do you do, right? What ties you to the people? What ties you to the events? to classes, right? Versus the virtual stuff is upfront, right? To getting to know what the system is about, what the organization is about, right? But here's an opportunity to really get to the nitty-gritty details, right? The ground stuff on the ground.
Yeah, I really like that. And I mean, for sure, I think once you do the booking, I'll put that here, but in the booking email, we want to include who are all the members who you can meet at the property while you're staying there. What are all the events? What are all the tasks?
What about making kind of things? Because if you come to a village with a project, you want to, or you want to maybe build a website or something, maybe it should be an option to see when like developers are around. So
nice.
to book around the people that are in the village, like if you,
that's really
like kind of like how can you optimize to make sure that you are with the people that you want to collaborate with at the same time.
Yeah,
that's great. I love it. Yeah, and I mean, in cities like New York, we have these called maker spaces, right?
Exactly.
We actually share some of these workshops together with other people, and I'm sure villages have those too because they constantly develop some new stuff or working on stuff, right? That could be direct, jump into that kind of space and get engaged and even grab a task and get rewarded for that. I mean, there are endless possibilities.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so, but I think so from the UX, I think we still have. So once you click on the book now button, it means that I think we should go with a Airbnb flow in the beginning where you select your dates. And then once you selected your dates, you would be able to see what are the events, the members, and the tasks around during those dates. So you can create further interaction with the village, which is not just a booking, but which is saying, oh, this is what I can help with, this is what I want to gift. And then the other thing is adding the booking as a follow-up step for seeing there's this cool event happening at that place. I definitely want to stay there during that event. So I'm going to book from the event page or from the task page. If we say, oh, we're building a sauna next week. Oh, I want to learn how to build a sauna. So from that page of the task, I'm able to book it.
But for example, can it be like, that you write something or you answer some questions, like exactly what you said, like what do you want to do while you're at the village, like kind of helping you to pick the right time. And then maybe based on some keywords of what you say, like the system tells you, oh, we think the best time for you to come is 24th of June to 1st of July because there's this happening at the village, or because there's these two people staying there and you can connect, you have like the matchmaking thing. Can you create something like that? I don't know, just trying
a bit complicated.
trying to come out of the box, as Joachim said, like it shouldn't be just like, book.
That gets very much into sort of the self-organization of a village, right? So this is a very decentralized system. There's no centralized, party that says here's what's happening this week, right? It's really up to the players and participants to coordinate and to schedule their own tasks, even reach out. They could even go into the system, right, and see, oh, there are 10 more people showing up this week. Maybe I can reach out to them and offer what they can do next. So it's this self-organizing aspect is a critical piece, I think, of these village in a box concepts.
Yeah.
Nice.
So ability for you to offer something, that's one thing that we should integrate.
Yeah, so for that, during the booking,
to create
it's not just about booking the room, but it's also about integrating with the village in terms of the tasks or proposals that are being executed and the events.
Totally. And that can lead later to sort of a whole governance track here where there are new proposals for, let's say, someone wants to build this sauna thing, right? That becomes a proposal in the system, and then people can actually starting to vote, right? And as you become, closer with the village and have more voice, you really feel like you're participating in the creation and evolution of the village there, something like that.
So bookings can become proposals that people can vote on, or whatever you are offering during the booking can become proposals that people can vote on.
Ooh,
But
that's a really good idea if there's a scarcity of rooms. So if you have multiple people trying to book a room, you actually have yeah, we're going to accept the applications, which actually that might be it. Like with me, no long-term arrangement, you might have one room. You like say, okay, you could apply for this apartment, put in why, and community's going to, which one of the 7 of you is going to get it. And realistically, actually, if any of these is awesome as they're going to do, they're probably going to have high demands. So maybe that's a really powerful feature to build into it, that, you don't book a room outright. You propose to book it and the community actually accepts you. Which is then really in this community element, like part of your booking, your application to book actually is speaking about who you are, what gift you're going to bring to the community, which is when it encourages you to like book an event, right? Like come share your gift with the community too. What is it? And then the community is looking around. It's like, oh, we got 10 people for this room. Oh, this one's a chef. This one's going to come teach us violin. Oh, we love the heart of this person or whatever. And then the community is having fun, like bringing other members into their community and they're a part of that rather than just someone shows up and they don't know who they are,
Yeah.
In a way, Reiki, I mean, you're also supporting the village when you book a room, right? So to me, this is also a contribution, right? From a do perspective, it's just you're paying for something and you're actually starting to use maybe the village currency, right, for paying, which benefits immediately the village, right? And for me, this is just a nice way to contribute to the growth of the village. Doesn't have to be proposal. I think proposals are more longer term things or bigger changes inside the village. That's where I would use proposals.
So I think Reiki is onto something because, for example, us, so we differentiate between members. So members have already gone through the whole booking onboarding process, and they already stayed 2 weeks at the property, and they've been vouched on by other members, and they bought some tokens. So those members are just should be able to just book without even any approvals from an admin or whatever, because they are the admins basically. But then the separate process, which is if you're a guest, then the only thing you can do is request to book a 2-week trial. So in this case, we actually do want to be able to see what that guest has to offer. And actually, well, in our case, we had listed the admin as reviewing those bookings, but it makes more sense to just have the whole community maybe, or like maybe whoever is staying during that time. To say, okay, like those guests want to come and they want to plant some mango trees, great, let's have them. Or maybe you're gonna have a random booking who's competing with it, which is just maybe offering more money or something, but they're not contributing any value to the village, and then maybe the bookings that offers mango trees is gonna win.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Actually, you can use that as a form of payment, right? You can book that room if you start planting, helping that group over there to plant some mango trees or get that sauna completed, right? That's that's a very unique approach. I haven't seen that anywhere. Yeah. That'd be cool.
Yeah, no, I really like that. And so if we just take the TDF use case, Sasha, just so you're aware, so we have members can book themselves. There's no approval process. That's what's in the UX design already. And guests can request to book 2 weeks. So this is when this kind of proposal will come in, and you would have a list of pending bookings, and then members can review the bookings and say, okay, like this one is adding value, we'll accept them.
So it can be both that they can pick up a task or a proposal that is existing, which also brings value, because if you have to build something and there's a guy that has the skills for it, so should have the option to either pick up something that it's needed to be done in the village, or to offer their new workshop or whatever they
and actually another one of our values is gifting. And what we're asking all members is to contribute 2 hours of their time gifting to the community. So it doesn't matter what, it should just be something that they love doing. So if you love giving massages, you can give massages for 2 hours. If you love cooking or doing dishes or cleaning, whatever it is, you can gift that. So actually that could be part of the booking here.
Yeah.
Nice.
What is gifting your booking. All right, this is great. I love it.
Nice.
What do you think, Alex?
Oh.
That's cool.
So from my end, I think so the intention of this system is sort of bootstrap a mini local, circular economy with this, just by the fact that people are showing up. Some people have stuff to offer, right? Offer services, offer places, others wanting to use those and wanting to participate or looking for an assignment. You already have the foundation in place to create this circular economy there, right? And then it's just a matter of getting some injections from outside to get it going, right? And defining some token currency so people understand where the value is stored, right, for the village, and then you can grow from there, right? That's already a great model.
Yeah, and actually, besides picking up a community proposal, so like building a zone or whatever, it can also be, so we had both community proposals and private proposals. So I need help building my portfolio website. I can create a task, but then if I'm staying at the property during that time, maybe it pops up during the booking process. So then I come as a UX designer. I'm like, oh, this person needs a better portfolio. I can offer them to help during my stay. So that can be my gift.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Beautiful.
Yeah. So it's just the other way around. Usually you would, look for the space and look for work, look to do something. Here it's like, here, we got something for you to do. And by the way, if you want to stay.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's good. That solves a lot of, I think, a lot of people, they're looking for purpose now in anything that they do, So if you can like already solve that from the beginning, I'm going there with a purpose. It's like already,
it's built right into this. Yep.
Yeah,
Right.
built.
Yeah.
Booking with purpose.
Booking with purpose. Here you go.
So we trademark it.
I love this.
Book your purpose.
Book your purpose. I like
Yes.
that. Book your purpose.
Better.
Purpose on demand.
No, but it's also, exactly, solves also first layer of onboarding for future members, because like if it's a new person, that's like already like the first entry point, like they're already gifting something, they're already like part of the community. They're not just visitors from the beginning, they're participants from the beginning. Well, if they decide to be a member of the village, well, they know how it works already. There's some kind of exchange, there's a circular economy, there's
I like that. Participants from the beginning.
I think it's really good. I mean, in our process as well, we had so as a guest, after you book your 2-week trial, you have to get other members to vouch for you. Well, you don't know that, but other members have to vouch for you in order for you to become a citizen or a member. So that means that if you're actually like doing work for other people, like helping them out and whatnot, then you have a much higher chance of getting vouched actually. So so it's actually in your interest as well to give a gift.
Yeah, and it's also, if you think about this, it establishes, trust very early on, and you build relationships. It's almost like the village is welcoming you, right? And embraces you because you're here now to reach out to other people. That's a whole different approach than just going into a village to book a room, and then leave. Here's like, wow, you guys are all here, and I'm getting to know you, and I know what's going on. That's a different way.
I think it's also nice from the village perspective that then like there's a set of greeters for that person, no? Because like once you booked a task as well, that means you're gonna have to work with 1 or 2 other people from the village. So immediately you bond with someone, because sometimes it's hard to come into a village, you don't know anyone, it's like, yeah, 20 new people, but you're already into the hands of someone. So there's some, yeah, like, or even if you have a one-on-one project with someone else, you already like beginning bond with someone.
That's really good. Yeah.
This might be a little bit complicated to do, but just ideating it out there is, as you start at some point early on in your booking process, you actually get paired with a buddy. And you're like, June is going to be at the village at that time too. And she's going to be your buddy as you arrive, you know? And like, let them know someone's going to guide them through this process and kind of assign them their village buddy. Or actually, it might be really simple, is that we could have each week someone in the village is like taking on the buddy duty, you know?
So that's the village
program advanced, yeah. And then it just automatically knows who's going to be the buddy during that week, you know?
Buddy duty.
I like that. Kind of like you go to Burning Man and you're gifted a virgin to take care of, and you're like initiating them into the culture.
No, for sure. Like so many times, like I have.
But you hear that right when you start your booking process. So as we're going through and talking, oh, sorry, there's a little bit of a lag. But anyways, like right at the beginning of your booking process, it's like, hey, this is going to be your buddy. So immediately you feel a little bit more secure. Because I'm a little bit, before I was a little bit nervous until this, that they're going through and like, hey, and, you know, give an offering to share. And we have all these events. It might feel a little overwhelming. So this what I think is a really quick way to cut through that potential overwhelm, to say, hey, like, you're going to get some support. And this is, we're here for you.
So actually what we could do is just after you select the dates, we just see what members are around, and then you just get assigned a member. Or whoever, like maybe you can, as a member, maybe you can select in your settings if you want to be available for that or not. But yeah, I think it's really good. And actually what we could even do is, you know, those like support chatbots that you have that pop up at the bottom right, and you have like this random support person being like, hey, this is Casilda, let me help you with your booking. We could actually have a real person now pop up and say, hey, Annie here, I'm your buddy, and I'll be guiding you into the village, and if you have any questions, feel free to message me, and you can directly message a person.
Nice.
See, totally, yeah, because the UI could just bring up a picture of them and their name,
exactly,
with their email. So
easy,
awesome.
Right. This also brings you towards roles that you take on in villages, right? So there's a whole infrastructure behind that to support it, right? You don't want to keep everything voluntary, you know, then you run into problems, people staying, not showing up or whatever. But if there's an infrastructure behind that to say, you know, we are organized, right? We have certain people in certain roles, they get paid and rewarded for their work, right? And they even, you know, can expand their role into, you know, bigger domains and more work later on. That's a much more solid organization of a village, right? And I think that's a part of this idea of village in a box, is not only do you offer the services and you have that visible and you can choose, but also the people behind that, right? They starting to create a livelihood here, right? They're actually seeing that they can stay and live and work in the village and support all of the others that are coming into the village, right? That is another side effect of it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that's awesome. So booking is backed up by local economy and infrastructure.
So yeah, so we should think about all of those rewards. So because in our model, we thought that, for example, invites, you have a limited number of invites, so you can only bring a limited number of people into the community. So it's a little bit like Clubhouse, where you get like 7 invites or whatever. So you can invite 7 people, and you can see a list of people who want to be part of the community. So you can only invite a certain number. And the reward is that if the person you invited becomes a member and buys tokens, you actually get a referral token. So in our case, it's just like 1 token of equity into the village for referring that person. I mean, and it could be your friend or it could be someone random, but you went through the process of having a conversation with them, going over the profile and so on, making sure that they're right fit. So it could be the same thing with this buddy thing. Maybe that's just like part of this referral process. It's like if you invite someone, so you have the page with all the booking requests, And if you select someone and you say, okay, this person looks cool, I want them to come to the village, now you become the booking buddy. And so you invite them, and when they come, you're showing them around. And at the end, if they end up becoming a member and buying tokens, then you get that referral token. So you actually get an incentive to pick up the task.
That would just bind two to be in the same time here.
Yeah. So only people who are staying at the place during the time of the booking would be able to pick up that task.
Yeah.
I think that's a reasonable thing.
Right. So yeah, I think so. Important is really to establish that relationship, and for people to say, maybe I get to know the people, I live there or stay there once, but then I have a connection, like a longer term connection to the village, and I'm willing to sort of fund future activities for the village too, right? Because I don't think you can expect people now returning over and over to the same place, unless they want to settle down, of course, but they want to get to know other villages too, because you're creating a whole network of villages, right? So I want to touch base here, see what's going on in this village, and I'm really willing, it's almost like an outside supporter, to make sure that these villages are growing, because I got to know a few of them, right? I got to know the people and have a much stronger, deeper connection with them, right? So I think overall the incentive should be, I have a relationship. It doesn't mean really I have to physically be present in the village, right? It's good to do that, but it's also good to say there's an inflow of resources also into villages, supporters that can't make it to the village, right? But have a deeper interest in supporting the work that's going on. This is just thinking about scalability, right? So because there's a finite capacity, obviously, in a village, right? There are 10, 20 rooms and then end of story. But you have hundreds and thousands of people who might want to see growth in that village, who want to observe it, right? Who just want to see what's going on and also follow the stories that are coming out of this, right? This could be a whole bigger feedback loop into a much wider community and audience that are starting to support these villages you're building.
The remap.
Yeah. So talking about feedback loops, we had as one of the last steps. So once you've done your booking and so on, at the end, instead of being like Airbnb where you have to review the place and give ratings for, was it clean, was it well built, and so on, the idea is to ask you rather, did you have a good time? And so something really subjective, but that's a much better idea of did they actually enjoy the stay, and was anything wrong? So did you have a good time? And then we can like more based it on like wish, learn. So what did you like about your stay? What did you wish for? And what did you learn during your stay? And so it's something much more subjective and personal. What do you think about that as a final step after you finish your stay?
Love it. It's really way beyond testimonials, right? Or rating schema, 1 to 5. That's boring, right? What you could do is really, if they did a task, describe it, or make it part of sort of the assignment itself, to say at the end, would be great if you write a story about your experience, right? Just a 1 page or something. And then you have a beautiful post that you can use again to share that with other people on the village website, in the network. It's great content that would be created by this process already.
Yeah, I'm thinking how you can immortalize your memory.
It would be nice if you get a picture with the buddy at the space. So every time some guests come to the property, so it'd be like a photo of them with a member.
Totally. Yeah.
And that's like a nice storybook.
Photos, quick videos, anything. That's great.
Okay. Do we have anything else for the bookings that we need to review? I think we went through.
Book your purpose.
So the booking emails that we went over. So yeah, Sasha, do you want to go through? I put all the notes in the document.
Mhm.
Do you want to go through and maybe try and see how we can integrate that into the UI somehow?
Yeah, that's the plan.
But,
yeah, I'm excited. It's just such interesting ideas. So I want to see how would be possible to materialize them.
yeah.
I can try to help with the flow.
And we do it together. Yay. I love working with Annie. We work very well together and think together. Things. We can just do wireframes, let's say, before our next call, just to so we have like a good flow pictured before we get into anything else.
Yeah, and maybe you can do a little bit like the UX flows that we have for the onboarding, saying, okay, step one, you find out that you can book a room, so either through the event page or through the task page or directly with a book now button. And then so just go describe the steps of the booking, so then we can kind of detail out also like all the ideas and what's required of each step.
Okay, sounds good.
Sweet.
Cool. I gotta drop off, another call. But
nice to see you.
I think that was very cool. Expanded from here to whoa.
Yeah. Very nice.
Good talking to you.
Bye.
See you
Thank
around.
you.
Bye-bye.
And
Yeah, it was very nice how from 2 screens we went to like book your purpose.
Yeah, so I can for next week I can what can I do? Because I think like I mean we're pretty ready to start building a lot of this stuff. So yeah, if you want to send me some wireframes at some point early next week, then I can start implementing some of that stuff already, so we can roll with it as we go.
Very nice. Yes, we'll be working on them over the weekend and so basically tomorrow and on Monday before our meeting on Tuesday, right? We're meeting next time on Tuesday, or we're gonna do once a week or twice a week? What's the plan?
I'm game to do it Tuesday, and then we could just sense out if we want to keep doing it twice a week or once. But I feel like the momentum's good.
Yeah, maybe let's just do once a week, and then we just do like let's be a bit more asynchronous. Maybe we can post the wireframes in the channel, and do a bit of back and forth on Discord during the week.
Okay.
Yeah, right? Perfect. I love that model. Yeah, once a week actually together, and then just Discord. Perfect.
General once a week.
And I think if people start seeing actual like work in progress in the Discord, also is gonna help other channels see how they can structure them.
Yeah, and maybe help other people to jump on this, because there's still quite a lot of people on Discord. So if they see some.
And we do have a few user researchers like Pao, who was with us today. She's a user researcher, and she offered to help. So actually we could take some of those wireframes and get some user research done as we're building it.
With all that being said, I think we need someone to manage the Discord a little bit better. So what you can do is you can set up a bot where when people show up, there's a welcome here, and then they can pick one of the 5 roles that we set up. So they can actually come in and say, hey, I'm going to be a builder, or I'm a designer, or whatever. So then when we're going through and sharing wireframes, we can tag @designers and actually trigger people to come in and look at it,
That's great.
Like having people pick up roles and activate them a little bit better and more intelligently.
I have no idea how to do that. Do you have someone who set it up for Seeds or whatever wants to just
his Omnia OUM. I'm sure if you type in that, you're going to find him in Seeds. He did it for Seeds, where people are like picking their region and it assigns them a role so that it opens up channels for them.
Nice.
Maybe we can have him do the same thing. So if you reach out to him,
You said
then
O.
what else? Yeah, OUM.
OUM. Oh, yeah.
There's like Omnia. I don't know how to pronounce it. I feel bad.
I'm not
Yeah.
finding. OU.
Oh.
No.
Or maybe, well, yeah, I'm not finding him. Maybe you can just introduce us.
OUMNIA.
Oh, OUNNIA.
OUMNIA.
Not finding him.
Okay, I'll tag you both right now in a chat. So yeah, I'll do that right after this.
Perfect.
Cool. Yeah, and then we'll just run from there.
Sounds great. Nice.
Nice.
Well, good progress. Excited about
Awesome.
this.
That's good.
Epic. Well, then I'll see you all on Discord.
All right.
Enjoy your
Later,
mango.
Enjoy the mangoes on your weekend. Have a good one.
Cheers.
Bye.
Ciao.